This is it! Today is the day and the results are in. I've just completed day 30 of the 30-day Forex challenge. I'm so excited. I might just have a little victory dance. Nah. Stick around because I'm going to share my profit and loss for each day of this 30-day Forex challenge, along with my overall final result. If you're new and you want to get started trading Forex, then this video is definitely for you. It's made for beginners in mind. I mean, I myself, I'm a beginner to trading Forex and this is my journey. Before we dive in, be sure to download a free copy of my trade plan. It's a free Forex trading plan. It goes through everything that I have actually used in this challenge, including my strategy, the time frames that I use, the indicators, my risk. It's got some really great information in there, so there's a link below where you can download a copy of that PDF for free. So grab that and let's dive right in. Hey everybody, I'm Emily from the channel Mindfully Trading, and if you're new to my channel, I've been day trading the stock market for over a year now. I started with warrior trading, and in my previous video, if you've seen it, you will realise that I've actually switched from trading the stock market to trading the foreign exchange market, also known as Forex. And in this video today, I'm going to share with you the results of my 30-day Forex challenge. But first, a disclaimer. I have carried out this challenge in a demo account because I'm not stupid. I've never traded Forex before, so the last thing that I'm going to do is dive straight in and trade Forex using real money and real risk. So although this is in a demo account, I have treated this demo account like it's real. I've treated it with real money. The demo itself, I think it gives you about £100,000 buying power. I don't even know because I haven't even looked at what the buying power is in the demo account. As far as I'm concerned, my demo account represents a £500 account that I'm going to trade with when I go live, so that I can get used to that, so that I can use the right lot sizes, calculate my risk correctly, and help manage my emotions as well, so it'll be the same figures for when I go live. So as I say, my demo account, I'm starting with £500 and I'm using the risk parameters of risking 3% of that £500 account per trade. You can get all the further information on my risk and how I'm calculating my profit and loss per trade in the free Forex trading plan. The link is below for that. Now, without much further ado, let's dive in to the video compilations of my 30-day Forex challenge. I hope you enjoy. Hey everybody, so it's day 6 and it's quite a cold morning here in England. I'm just on the boat, got the fire going, got my big jumper on, trying to get it warmed up in here, and I'm going to just go through and show you how my experience has gone for the first 5 days. It's only really since I've started here on day 6 that I've decided I'm going to share this journey with you, so that's why we're not starting on day 1. But I'm going to jump onto the computer and I'm going to show you how the first 5 days have gone trading Forex. Okay, so just loaded up the trade records for the past 5 days, and just to confirm, this has been my experience trading Forex in the demo, so I'm not trading with real money, but I've never traded Forex before. I've traded stocks. So I've spent a week or so just reading up on Forex and filling in some gaps, so understanding about pips and lot sizes. But other than that, obviously there's some learning curves of getting used to how the market moves in the currencies market. However, the technical analysis is pretty much generally the same as it is with the stock market, so that's been a real advantage. And what I've been doing here is I've pretty much done some research and chosen my strategy. So I've been trading around the London time, which is pretty much coming up to that time now, so this isn't going to be too long of a clip. But I've been trading about 7:30 and generally just for a couple of hours trying to plot some trades. I found it a little bit confusing because I know I'm going to start work soon, so I've been trying to figure out which is the best time frame for me. So there's a little bit of learning there, but I've had a really good start. So I'll just go through briefly. So day 1, the 12th of March, took 3 trades. I had 1 loss, I had 2 wins. I lost 1 R and I made 2 1.5 Rs. So I'm up 3 R, and that works out at 6% or 31.60. Very interesting that so far in this journey I've been referring a lot to my account in percentages and R's as opposed to in the actual amount that I've earned. So I've not actually been focusing too much on the money. which has been helping with the emotions. Although I am in a simulator, I think that that could be quite a useful tool to manage emotions when I go live. So day 2, very similar. I had 1 loss, I've had 2 wins. I lost 1R, I made 3R, 6%, worked out at £26.18. Day 3, I actually had 2 winners day 3, so I was up on my account 7.5%. Day 4 was actually a loss day. I took 1 trade. On the morning I took this trade, I felt like I shouldn't trade it because I was actually going to a funeral that day, but I was trying to keep up with this challenge, and I took my loss. And as soon as I had that, I thought, yeah, this isn't the right day to trade, so I didn't take any more trades that day. So I lost 1R. I lost 3% of my account that day because I've been risking 3% per trade. And day 5, I had 2 winners, so I was up 7.5%. I made 2.5R. So in total so far in this challenge, day 5, and in 5 days I have managed to make 24%. And this has been calculating risk. Even though I'm allowed up to 100,000 in buying power from the sim, I've been working everything out on a £500 account because that's quite accurate to what I'm going to start with. I might start with more, I've not decided yet, but I thought it's better to practice with a small account anyway, because it will better reflect what it'll be like when I trade live. So on a £500 account in 5 days, I've made 24%. If you want to hear what that is in pounds, I've made £113, so I've actually turned £500 into £613.15 in 5 days, which is pretty good. I'm really happy so far with this challenge. As I say, I'm only 5 days in, and I'm trying not to get too excited and confident, but at the moment it's a great start. In fact, just before I sign off, I'll just show you my weekly review. So it's a separate spreadsheet that I use just to show that 5 days, and there we are, 4 green, 1 red. It's a really nice ratio of profit to loss. Hey everybody, so it's day 7 today. It is Friday the 20th of March, and I started this challenge a week last Thursday, so 7 days in. I'm going to show you my P&L in a moment, but just to share with you, so far I'm really enjoying trading Forex. It certainly feels different to stocks, it moves differently and it's taking a little bit of adapting to, but it feels like it does work more on technical analysis than I've found the stocks to do so far, but obviously it's early days yet. As you can see, I have my chart set up just behind me, and my trades, my records are in the middle just there. I've only done 1 trade today. I took 1 trade. It wasn't really the best trade, but I managed to get a win. And with it being Friday, I decided I would call it a day there. I've got them open still because I set a few forecasts and I just want to see how my accuracy worked out for those, but I haven't actually taken any trades in the demo for those, so I'm not counting them on my records. So here we are, day 7 of my Forex challenge, and I'm going to go into my trade records first just to show those with you. So I took 2 trades yesterday and then 1 trade today. So I'll go over yesterday's trades first. That's Thursday the 19th of March, and it was actually quite an emotional day for me yesterday. I had 2 losses, and in the morning I was quite distracted. I had some conversations and about what I'm doing basically, and I sort of doubted the whole idea of doing this Forex challenge in the first place. And my general attitude when I went on to the demo yesterday morning was, oh, I'll just play and see. So my discipline had pretty much gone yesterday, and I was treating it more like a game, and I feel like my records here reflect that. I just didn't have a very good day. So 2 losses, the pound to the yen, and then the dollar to the US dollar to the Canadian dollar. I went long on both trades, and I did take 2 losses. I mean, they're all within my risk parameters. I risked 3% per trade, so I lost 6% on my account yesterday. And then today I took 1 trade. I short the euro to the pound, and I didn't even truly follow my plan today. I'd set what I usually set, which is a 1R stop and a 1.5 profit target. So I risk 3% to make 4.5%. And for this trade, I set my 1.5 profit target, and as it came down to that, I noticed that there was a pivot line on the hourly chart of points that had hit along this level point, basically this pivot line, and I had not catered that into my plan, so I decided to shift my stop to a 1-to-1 as it had already approached that, because it was hitting resistance at this pivot line. And I've checked my trades. I mean, that was this morning, it's now the afternoon, and it still wouldn't have hit my original profit target. So I don't know whether that was the right thing to do long term, because I technically would still be in that trade, but I do think it's probably just consolidating off now, because on the daily chart, even though I went short on these smaller time frames, on the daily it's still very much in a strong uptrend. So a little bit of a mixture there. I think I made the right decision in cutting that and taking the small win for that. So they are the 2 trades since my last video, and just to give you the update there on my account, so far day 7 and I'm up 21% on my £500 account, and I have made £97.26 so far, just to show you that on my alternative spreadsheet here. So this week I've had 2 red days and 3 green days, but I'm overall green. I do feel like I need to work a little bit better on my profit loss ratio, because I've cut a few winners smaller than I would have liked to. One of them has been the right thing to do, another one hasn't, so I'm just battling with emotions there and just seeing how that goes. But overall I do feel like I'm making good progress. My daily accuracy is working out right. I'm just trying to keep focused on this challenge, and focused on trying to give it a really good go, to get a good month's worth of data here to see whether I'm worthy to trade with real money or whether I need some more practice in the demo. So we'll see. Hey everybody, so it's day 12 today. It's a Friday, and I've actually just had my best day today, so I'm buzzing. I'm gonna share with you my P&L in just a moment. It's been quite a strange week, because I've actually got myself a job this week, so I've just been adjusting to a new routine, trying to find the best time to trade and try to keep up with reviewing it and journaling, and then obviously documenting this for you. So there's a little gap since my last video because I've been quite busy, and with everything going on I have actually taken quite a few losers this week, and I think it's because I've been kind of rushing my trades and then sort of getting a little bit emotional and a bit distracted, but I've managed to get back in the zone today, which is great, and get back, turn it round, and I'm looking quite good still for this challenge. So I'm gonna dive onto the computer and share that with you now. Okay, so I'm going to share this with you a little bit differently, just because I'm in a bit more of a rush, so I just want to share with you what I've done without setting everything up. So as you can see, it's Friday the 27th of March, I'm on day 12. I've actually taken 3 trades today, all shorts. Short has worked quite well for me. So I this morning shorted the euro to the dollar on a 5-minute bear flag, but also using the 15-minute and the hourly chart there. And that got me a nice 1.5 R win. So I risked 1 to make 1.5, which worked out at £19.48. I also shorted the US dollar to the Japanese yen, and that one's only just finished because I was mainly using the hourly chart for this one. I'll show that to you now. So this is the 15-minute chart here on the left, and just here I'll make this one bigger. This is the hourly chart. So let's see here. So it's actually been making this great downward trend move for a couple of days now, but I was just scalping part of that move. So you can see here I created this bear flag where it's pulling back up to the 20 EMA. This is on the hourly chart, and I actually used a sell limit order, which was a little bit different for me, because usually when I create the bear flags, I tend to take my order when it actually breaks the consolidation pattern, which is usually about this point here where this red candle's coming down. But with a sell limit order, the way it's designed in MetaTrader 4 is that you can only set a sell limit when it's actually going up. So I had to set my sell limit order actually above where the price action was. So I set it here on this, it's actually just below the 20 EMA, because I thought that if it touched that, then it's going to bounce off that and move lower, which worked out really well. It's what it did. And I got quite a nice position because it spent a couple of hours still in this consolidation, but at least in that consolidation I was still in profit. So that was a great use of the sell limit order. Now the only thing I'm not too sure about here, I created my forecast and I originally set a 100 stop and 150 profit target. I did a 2-to-1. Then I adjusted that to a 100 stop and I think it worked out 130 profit target. It was a 1 to 1.5 risk reward ratio. However, as it got down here, it was about 10 pips away from my original profit target, and on the daily chart it started to look like it may reverse. So I don't know whether I got a bit emotional here and went against my plan, but I actually changed this and sold. So I ended up with a 1.22, which isn't the best. It's a little bit more than a 1-to-1, so it's okay, but it would have been nicer to get a 1.5 win there. But I was just conscious that I'd taken 3 trades. This was the last trade that I closed, and it's Friday, and I really wanted to just get 3 winners, so it could have been emotional. I don't know, I'm going to observe it and see whether it does continue and would have hit my original target and just learn from that, and we'll see on that one. But that's the dollar to the yen. And then my last trade, which was actually the first one to win, was the euro to the pound. It's another short, and you can see here I used the sell limit order for an experiment. I'll load that one up. The euro to the pound, I think I got on at 8.18. So I've actually taken the chart back here, so it was in this nice downtrend here on the 15-minute, and it started, just make that a bit bigger. It started to do a bear flag, so it was about this point I was looking at, and it was consolidating up here. And again, I was usually going to take the break of this bear flag, but instead I set a sell limit order. I set it around here, around this 50 EMA on the 15-minute chart. Now I got a little bit nervous because there was a strong bullish candle that went up, and I thought, oh, this is the first time I've used a sell limit order, and it just felt unnatural anyway. But then we had a couple of red candles. That was a real big sign of weakness. And then the big drop down, which took me straight into my profit straight away, and then continued to fade down nicely. So I actually took that trade and got out in about 2 hours. That worked out quite well. And then it did continue to go down, and it still is. So, you know, I could have sold half and I could have stayed in for more, but right now I'm just taking my base hits, just proving my strategy works. The trade management side of actually letting winners run longer, I'm going to work on in the next stage. But for this challenge, I'm just working on basic strategies, getting the base hits, getting a good profit and loss ratio. So that was a nice trade, and that was using the sell limit order. That was the euro to the pound. So here I made 1.5 R and £23.60. So I followed up my records for today, the 27th. And you can see here, there the details for the 3 different shorts that I took. And it was really nice. It came to a total of £63.72, which is the largest amount I've earned so far in this challenge. So I'm quite happy with that. And my risk reward, I actually made 4.22 R. So I risk 3% for each risk. So 1 R equals 3%. So today I've actually made 12.70% on my account, so it's been a really good growth, and it's just helped to combat the losers that I've had this week. So where are we? I didn't actually trade on the Wednesday, so from the 23rd I did have 3 losing days, and then today has been my win. So I'm only down 0.2%, so it's quite a small loss on the week, so I've managed to bounce back. But I followed up my weekly metrics just to share that with you, and you can see so I started off having a nice green to red ratio, but then this week I've had a few red days, so I'm actually ending this week minus 1565. But overall on the challenge, I'm actually up 18% on my account, and that is only on, forgotten already, day 12. So in 12 days, I'm using a £500 demo account. In 12 days, I've made 18%, and that works out around 80 quid. It says dollars there, but I am using pounds. So I'm really excited and encouraged by this, because obviously we're working on percentages here, and to make 18% is brilliant. So if that's a £1,000 account, I've made 180 quid, and we're talking in the space of a couple of weeks. but it's all about scaling up that account size. So I'm just focusing on my risk, I'm focusing on my strategy, my accuracy, my consistency. I'm trying to stay disciplined. I'm trying to ride the waves of the chaos that's been going on and that is affecting my trading performance, but I am trying to stay focused in the moment. And I'm just trying to complete this challenge, really, to just get a good, accurate view of my data and whether my strategy works, whether it's worth taking it into real money. So we shall see. Morning everybody. So I'm all set up this morning, got my screens out. It's 7:57, so 3 minutes until the London market opens for Forex, and I'm feeling good. See how it goes. Totally forgot to say which day it was. The days are just sort of blurring a little bit. It's been a mad few weeks, but it's day 20 today, the big 2-0, and I'm currently in a trade. I'm short euro dollar because the dollar's quite strong today. The euro's quite weak. Don't know if you can quite see. I will share the recap on the screen a bit later, but currently it's a 15-minute bear flag, and I think I'm in a little bit too soon, which seems to be a habit I'm getting into. I'm really trying to work on my patience to wait for a trade just to be right, like a sniper. But it is within my stop parameters. It's just touching the 20 EMA on the 15-minute, and it seems to be retracing now to drop down, which is pretty good. Back trading with my usual risk today, so I'm feeling a lot better as I've been playing around. As you know, I've been using this demo idea of a £500 account, and in the last few days I decided to change that to a £50 account because I was thinking of going live with a very small account just to practice. Birds are playing. But that's totally messed up my risk because the most I can take buying power is 0.01 lots, which means that whether I'm risking 10 pips, 30 pips, 50 pips, it's 0.01 lots. So my risk isn't going to be consistent. So if I have a loser with 30 pips and a winner with 10, it's going to be a negative profit loss ratio. So it's making it really quite difficult, and I'm finding that's affecting my emotions. So my performance has been quite poor the last few days. So I decided to scrap that idea. That's not a good idea. And I'm reverting back to my £500 account. And I'm totally distracted now, but you guys are in for a treat because I have a trading mascot and I'm going to share him with you. So hold on. Let's take this out of here. I'm going to flip you around, so I hope you can see. Okay guys, so you're currently looking outside of my kitchen window, and I don't know if you can see, but over there's a bridge over the canal. I'm going to try and zoom in. But under the bridge, you might be able to just see his beak. Zoom in a little bit more. Can you see the beak poking out? That's actually a heron, and he's so cool. He keeps coming in the morning to, I guess, to try and catch some fish for his breakfast. But he's totally become my trading mascot because he's so patient. I've been watching him early in the morning, and he just stands there and he just waits around. He waits for his breakfast. And I think it's quite a good symbol for trading because he is patiently waiting. He's waiting for the opportune moment to strike to catch his breakfast. Now, if he's too soon, he'll scare the fish away. If he's too late, he'll miss his opportunity. So his timing is perfect, and I think that is so important for trading. So I'm really trying to trade like a heron now. I'm trying to wait for the market to just align perfectly to get my entries perfect. Except it won't be perfect every time, but if I try, then surely it's going to work, right? So trade like a heron. Hey everybody, so just a quick clip to share my review for day 20. It is 1:45. And I'm basically stopping because I've done a few trades. I've been trading all morning, and I've had one bailout, just a slight winner. I've had one winner, and then I've had a bailout loser. So I'm up on the day, and I'm going to call it a day now. I'm going to share with you, break down what I've done, and let's get to it. Okay, so I'm going to just share them with you like this, just for speed really, because I'm aware these videos are getting quite long now as we recap my Forex trading journey. So day 20, it's the 8th of April. I think when I was sharing with you my ideas, I was looking at shorting the euro dollar and shorting the pound yen. The pound yen, let's have a look at that one first. So I'll go onto this chart and load up the pound yen. I'm just going to make the 15-minute biggest because that's the main one I use, just to try to avoid confusion. Right, so here we have the big red candle drop down. I saw it consolidating here into a bear flag, so I actually got in here as this red candle came down. It sort of sold off a bit, then it picked back up, and then I realised it was forming this W pattern. So we've got the big drop here, goes up, comes down, which usually means it's going to take off, which is what it did. So I actually bailed out with a small loser and instantly went long, which I know is what people say not to do, but I did have this pattern confirmation. Had I had the patience to kind of wait for the pattern to form originally, I maybe would have spotted that, but regardless, I ended up having a win on that one, which kind of encompassed the small loser I had. So in the end, I think together with the loser and the winner, basically made just like 1% on my account. Oh, sorry, 1.5% on my account, because I'm only risking 1% per trade, just to keep it small to practice for going live. I'm really trying to have this demo as an accurate reflection ready for going live, so I'm trying to keep my risk small so that when I go live I can have the same risk and hopefully avoid those emotions and flutters of fear that you can get when you go live. And then as I get used to trading live, the idea is I'm going to build my risk up. I'm probably going to aim building it up to 3%, but I just want to take it very steady at the beginning to try to keep my account alive. So anyway, that was the first trade. And then I also traded the euro dollar and I went short, and this was a bit of a strange trade because here you can see my flag pattern I've drawn out. Again, I'll make the 15-minute chart bigger, and this is my forecast here. As you can see, the big green section and the red, and it basically just continued consolidating, and on the currency strength meter the euro and the dollar kind of balanced out, and I felt like it wasn't really going anywhere. So I tend to use the idea of breakout or bailout to try to cut losers if it doesn't work initially. So you can see I've put this arrow here, and that is where I broke out. So it wasn't hitting my stop, but it was getting above this pivot line I'd drawn. It was making higher highs, and at this point on the 1 hour chart it closed above the 20 EMA, so I took that as my exit indicator, bailed out of my trade there. So I lost about 0.75 R, so just under, about like 0.75%, so just under a percent. So I'm just trying to really reduce my losers here. So overall I am up on the day, even though I've had a winner and 2 losers. I'm up on the day, which is good. But as you can see, mixed responses, because it looks like it may be breaking down, and it was within my risk parameters because my stop is actually up here and it didn't hit my stop. So I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on that one, because I think there's a fine line between following your trade plan. You know, you create your plan, you've got to trust your plan, and you've got to trade your plan, and that means letting the winners win and the losers lose. But then at the same time, you've got to be aware of when a trade is becoming a loser so that you can cut the loss, and I guess that's what I'm trying to get the balance of now. So in this instance I did cut my loser short. It may be backfiring on me, but that's okay. I can take that, that's fine. I'm just trying to learn what I can from these experiences. But just to jump to my main screen again here, and just to give you an overview, so it's the 8th of April. I started this Forex challenge back on the 12th of March, and so far in my challenge I've had a bit of a confusing time the last week, because predominantly this challenge has been the idea of me trading with a £500 account, risking 3% to make 4.5%. However, this week I decided randomly, which has kind of messed this challenge up a tiny bit, but it's okay. Monday and Tuesday, the 6th and the 7th of April, I decided to change my idea to have this idea of my account being £50, because I thought I could get trading live soon, because I'm just quite excited to get on it basically. But then I realised that because it's such a small account, you can't really take any greater lot sizes than 0.01. So then whether I'm risking 10 pips, 20 pips or 50 pips, I'm using the same lot size and the risk is changing, and I don't want to do that. I want to keep the same percentage of risk per trade. so that I can keep that consistency up. That's what I found has been working for me. So I did that Monday, Tuesday, realised this problem, and then today I've reverted back to £500, but I'm now risking 1% per trade. So I'm risking 1% to make 1.5%. And this is all with the intention of when I go live, I'm just trying to make it easy for myself. And this challenge is trying to be a real practice for going live. So even though it is in the demo account of Awanda, I'm really trying to have an active simulation here ready to go live. So I'm sorry if that's confusing, guys. I've confused myself, so I'm sure I've confused you too. But it's not all bad, because so far I'm up 20% on March. I'm down 7% so far in April, so I'm not having the best start to April. But overall, it's day 20 and I'm up 13% on my account. So I think that's still a pretty good indicator so far. So let's see how it goes. Day 20, signing off. Hey guys, this is a really quick clip for day 21. So I've done 2 trades today, and I'm a bit bummed out because one of them's been winning, which is awesome, and the other one stopped me out. It went 2 pips below my stop, then it shot straight up where it is currently about 40 pips above my original profit target. So I'm a little bit annoyed about that. But thanks to using a 1.5 to 1 profit loss ratio, although I've lost one trade, which was 3%, I've made a trade, which is 4.5%. So I'm still at 1.5% on the day on my account, but it's very annoying when that happens. Let me show you. Okay, so here is the trade that I'm showing with you. Sorry for the lights on the screen there. This is for the euro dollar. I'm going to make it a bit bigger just so you can share in my frustration of this trade. And that is probably why I'm not going to trade anymore today, because I am feeling a bit frustrated. But my entry was around this area, this break. It did actually go above the original trend line, and then I drew these trend lines on. I edited them because it kind of rejected the level and dropped down. But I stayed in the trade, I trusted my plan. And you can see it kind of came down, touched this red line here. That's my stop. That's how far below my stop it went. Not far. It's bounced off this level here. And now it's currently, that's my original profit target. So my original profit target was at 0.3 and it has hit a high of about 21. So oh, it's a bit annoying, yes. I'm just sort of riding the wave of that, and certainly not going to do any more trades today, but at least I'm still green on the day. I did this trade on the pound to the yen. Went long on that one as well, and well, that's gone quite a lot higher than my original target as well. But I'm just taking base hits. It would be nice to aim for a 2 to 1 profit target and try and get a little bit more, but at the moment I'm trying not to be too greedy. But yeah, I'm learning from trades like this. So my original stop was 20 pips. I was risking 20 to make 30. And I think the lesson from this is to always give a little bit of a wider stop and a wider profit target. Anyway, that is it for day 21. Come on, go lower. Go lower. Ah. Australian dollar to the pound. You are so close to my take profit, which is at 85. I'm 10 pips away from being able to close this trade, and I am so resisting closing it early. I seem to have gotten into the habit of cutting my winners too short, which is not a good habit to get into. I sort of panic when they get close, and then as they retract a bit I tend to close them. But I'm getting a really bad profit loss ratio if I keep that up. So I'm trying to maintain a 1 to 5, 1.5 to 1 even profit loss ratio. So to do that I need to just sit here and wait for that red candle to drop a little bit further. See, this is my forecast here. 1.5. My stops up here, I entered here, and the currency is currently here. I need to just go there. A little bit further to go. And I'm finding this to be the hardest bit about trading Forex, is just watching the trades and waiting and hoping that they work and resisting closing them early. You see, I've taken a few trades today. The first one a loss, which was a really stupid trade. I sat for about 45 minutes and watched loads of currencies move because I figured I couldn't get the right entry. I didn't want to jump in. So in the end, I tried to jump in on a reversal, which was a daft idea, and I knew it. It was emotional, and that resulted in a loss, minus 3% on the account there. But I managed to bounce back. I've had a win on the US dollar Swiss franc, and that was a really nice trade. That was a 1.5 win. And I've had a win on the pound to the Japanese yen. This was really frustrating. This is what I mean. I've done it again. It's a win, but I cut it short. So my take profit was actually at 81. It bounced back up and it seemed to struggle to cross over the whole dollar. So I actually bailed out at 13408, which is only about a 0.70 to 1. So it's put me into a negative profit loss ratio, and a little win that didn't even combat the loss from this morning. And I'll just show you the chart for that, because the frustrating thing, the Japanese yen. This is my forecast here, my entry, my stop up there, and my original target. Now I actually bailed out about here, and look how far down it's come. If I'd have waited 30 minutes, it would have hit my take profit, and it's still going. So this is what I mean. I'm making myself watch this trade now as punishment. I need to stop cutting my winners short. So important in trading. It's important to cut losers short, but it's important to let winners run. And that's what I'm learning today. I'm still waiting for 85 to hit. We're currently on 94 on the Australian to the dollar. 93. Let's see how it goes. It's 10 to 2 in the afternoon, and I'm calling it a day. I've had 4 trades. That's 3 winners and 1 loser. The loser was a really stupid trade. I'm really frustrated about that. I basically got set up at 8 in the morning, and there are loads of currencies moving down. The pound's been really weak today and the dollar's been really strong. So a lot of pairs moving down, and I really wanted to jump in, but I couldn't quite find the right entry and I didn't want to chase it. So I thought, right, I'll wait for a pullback or a suitable entry. But there weren't any entries. And in hindsight, I think that because the tide was so strong, it would have been wise to just get in. But at the time I was trying to be sensible, and I waited. And then eventually I thought, oh, I'll just trade the bounce of a pullback. So I got in long at a pivot point, which totally didn't work, and it was daft to go against the tide, so that's my loss. But I've had 3 other wins. One of them, I cut my winners short, which was frustrating. I was aiming for a 1.5 to 1 profit loss ratio, and I actually closed it at 0.70 because I thought that it was going to reverse back up and I wanted to get the profit. And 30 minutes later it hit my take profit. So another one. I need to stop cutting my winners short and let them run. It's really important. That's what I'm working on at the moment. But still, it's a good day. There's more lessons. There's always more lessons to be had when trading. But the result of the day is that I've got 3 winners. I've got 1 loser. I'm up £39.13, but that's using my small lot sizes, risking 3% on a £500 account. And I've made 7.5% on the account today, so I'm quite happy with that, because I've had quite a few loser days the past few days, because I think it's just because there's been a lot going on at home, and it's managing those kind of personal things and the emotions. And obviously this is new. This is the first time I've done Forex. I've only been doing it for 23 days as of today, so yeah, I'm getting there. Anyway, I hope this challenge is good for you guys, because I really am pushing myself on this and sharing this with you and feeling quite vulnerable about it. So do throw me a thumbs up at this point if you're enjoying the video. Hey everybody, so it's just coming up to the end of day 28 trading day. I'm so excited. I've only got 2 more trading days, 29 and 30, and then it's the end of this 30-day challenge. Oh, I'm so excited. This has been such a cool challenging but fun experience, and I can't wait to share with you as my results develop towards the end. But right now it's just a quick video because I'm sort of running out of time and I'm really hungry. So I'm just going to go through with you. I don't want to keep it too long as well, because I know that these video clips must be adding up, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time. But as I say, this is day 28 and it's been quite a slow-ish day today. So I've only done one trade and I didn't actually hit my target, but I managed to keep it green, and green is good. Although I've just gone over my trades today that were on my watch list, and there was another trade that I did consider taking and I didn't take it, but my forecast would have worked. So it's one of those things, but you know, it didn't feel like it was the day to be aggressive today, and I'm happy that I'm green. That's always good. So I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm just going to show you a quick view of my charts so you can see what I've done. But today, just to share with you the results, I made 2.7%, so a tiny green day, which works out about just over 15 quid. But 15 quid's 15 quid, and obviously the snowball effect, as my account grows, so do the wins and so do the losers, which is why it's important to make sure the losers are small and the winners are big. So let's swap around and I'll show you the charts. Okay, so you're just looking at my trading review sheet on Excel. As you can see, 22nd of April, Jet saying hello to you, barking at all the dogs on the marina. But yeah, it's the 22nd of April today, day 28, and just the one trade on the euro pound, which I'm going to show you just now. Now this is a little bit of an annoying trade because I got into this position. I did get quite a good entry here, the 15-minute chart. Let's just make that bigger. You can probably see my forecast here, and I got in just up here. You can see where the mouse is. It was making like a 15-minute pull back up to the moving average lines, and that together with the hourly chart, the RSI, and a few other indicators that I use confirmed to me when the volume came in that this was a good move down, which it initially was. As you can see, I'm risking sort of just under 25 pips there to make 37 pips, keeping my 1.5 to 1 profit loss ratio. And as it moved down here, it hit this trend line. Now this isn't really a daily trend line, so I didn't think it would have that much authority. It's a trend line that I gained from the hourly chart, but it did reject this trend line and bounce up. And as you can see, it's made a few attempts here to break it. When it rejected it at this point and bounced up, I felt that this uptrend here was quite sharp. And then as it came down here, I thought that it might be forming this W pattern. As you can see, which usually would mean it would move up and resolve to the upside. So as it came down here and then kind of rejected again, I actually decided to get out because I just didn't trust this trade. The market felt like it was quite slow today, and I just didn't feel comfortable holding it. And the reality is, as you can see with Forex, it's starting to move again now. So I actually closed this position about lunchtime, and it is about 4:05 in the afternoon here in England, and it looks like it might finally be trying to break it. So I actually got out of this position at about 0.88, I think, up here. Now my original 1.5 target was 72, but I was going to settle for 85, which would have only been a 1-to-1 profit loss ratio, so it's not really brilliant. But as I said, it was more of a case of breakout or bailout. As you can see here, it looks like it is going in the right direction, so I perhaps could have held this. Just lessons. But that was the one trade I actually took today. Now I was looking at another trade, the Australian dollar to the US dollar, and again I'll just make, in fact I'm going to make my daily chart big first because this was the chart I was most influenced by. Now as you can see on the daily, I'll just zoom out a little bit, we've had this downtrend and then it's starting to look like it's trying to come back up here, and I drew these trend lines. I felt like it was making this distinct triangle pattern. And here we are, this green candle here. Now when I drew this was quite a strong bullish green candle up here, and I felt like it would reject this trend line and drop to the downside. So moving to my 15-minute chart and zooming it in, and to the point where I was at when I was observing this, I was about here. I don't know if you can see that very well, but we had this massive rejection here, and then it still continued to consolidate and then climb back up. because today the Australian dollar has been very strong and the pound has been weak. Now I thought that there was a chance it would hit this trend line here and then reject to the downside, so I did set this forecast. I set it about here, and the entry at the trend line, which was around about 50, and it started to drop back down, and then as it climbed back up here, I did think about taking the trade, but I decided against it because I was already in the other trade, and I just had this sort of bad feeling about the market today, because it felt like the only trade opportunities were kind of small base hit wins. There wasn't anything really moving. It was more like a pullback day, so I didn't really feel like it was a day to be aggressive. And I guess in hindsight, I should have trusted my analysis and taken this trade, because anything that's supported from the daily chart does kind of give a lot of confidence for me. But as you can see, the trade played out really well. It kind of come up here and hit my original planned entry, so I could have set a sell limit there. And then it kind of bounced down, it kind of came back up to retest, and then it faded. And I mean, I kind of had the idea of risking one to make 1.5 as I usually do, but looking at this chart now, if I extend this, it would have even been a 2-to-1 move. It was a really nice trade. And I think that's because, as I said, the daily chart gave the confidence in that. It kind of respects price action a lot more when the analysis is done on the daily chart. So I'm a little bit frustrated that I didn't get that, because I mean, a 2R win for me would be about 9% gain on the account, so that would have been a brilliant winner, but it just wasn't meant to be. I didn't do that today, but it's lessons, and you know, it's nice to see when you are right, even if you don't take the trade. It just adds to the pot of my trading confidence, which is always good moving forward. But I just wanted to share those two trades with you, and day 28 out. And here we are on day 30 of the 30-day Forex challenge, the 30th and the final day. Are you ready to see my results from the challenge? Let's jump on the computer and I'll share them with you now. Everybody, let's have a look at the results. Okay, so I've got my trade records spreadsheet just here, and as you can see at the bottom, I've split it into March because I started this challenge on the 12th of March, and then obviously April because it's run into April. So I have kept records for each day of the challenge, each of the trades, so that I can review them, see what I'm doing right, see what I'm doing wrong, and hopefully improve on those. But I've exported all of those into the sheet here, the 30-day challenge, and the moment you've all been waiting for is there a drum roll? From the whole 30 days, I have actually made just over 36% on my account. As you can see here at the bottom, I've taken 63 trades in total, 34 wins, 29 losers. My best win day was £63.72, and my worst day was minus £35.78. Out of those 63 trades, I've managed to keep a just under 54% accuracy, so obviously I've got room for improvement there. And then the profit loss ratio 1.2 to 1, and again I've got room for improvement. But as far as I'm concerned, I've never traded Forex before. I've come from the stock market, and for 30 days trading a new market, I've not practiced it, I've never looked at it. This is it, this is me having a go, you know, seeing how the currencies move differently, which they do. I'm really quite happy with these results. I think that it's very positive. So I've taken a £500 account and I've made £172.79 in 30 days. So I've turned £500 into £672.79, which I am buzzing about. I'm really happy with that. I've just obviously finished the last day today, and I've actually had a lost day. As you can see here, this row, the last day, I lost 3% today, so I'm a bit bummed out because I really wanted to hit that 40% mark, but oh well. I probably let the emotions of the challenge get to me today, but hey ho, it's still green, and green is good. Now, I load them into a spreadsheet because I find it personally much better to analyse the data that way. For those of you who may be cynical, may be thinking, yeah, how real is this? I mean, I can show you some of the trades in my demo account, but the reality is that some days I traded and then I would say to myself, that would be my cut-off day. and I will record my results. But then after that, I carried on trading in the demo because I wanted to just get that extra screen time. I wanted to practice and get used to the way the currencies move. So the demo results, of course, it says 100,000 starting, and it's actually below that because obviously I overtraded and I haven't used this as an accurate record of data. But if you really want to know, I'll just make my spreadsheet a little bit smaller so you can just see the last row. And today's there, minus 19.49. The day before I got £29.31, £15.26. I'm going to just pick another day where it was a normal day. I'll try the 20th of March there, just to show you how they relate. So the 20th of March here, 1989. Before that, the 19th of March, it's like minus 16.58, which was one of these trades. Here we go, minus 16.58, a loss. I'm not going to go through them all. If you don't trust me, you don't trust me, but I've got no reason to lie because I'm doing this challenge merely for myself, to document my own progress, and that's what I've done, and that is my result. Just to share with you the other spreadsheet as well, I've shown you my kind of daily metrics that I keep, and I also have a weekly review metric here. So this is the month of March, and as you can see, the 5 weeks of March. I started the challenge on Thursday the 12th, so I had a green week here. It's still in dollars because this is my template that I use for stock market. I haven't actually figured out how to change that to pounds yet, but this is a pound account, Great British Pound. So I had a green week. The third week was red. Don't quite know what happened that week, but I still managed to pick it up, and then that's a really nice start to March. I made just under £100, so I was really happy. It was a really good boost into the challenge, built a nice profit cushion. April came and I sort of struggled. As you can see, the last week of March, I had these red days here, and then carrying on into April I had a few red days. And then for some reason, like I said before, I decided to change my mindset that I wasn't trading a £500 account, I was trading a £50 account. So then for the next sort of 5 days or so, they're very small because I was using this £50 account, and it just got very confusing. The percentages stay the same, so that's the overall result, but I probably would have made more money overall if I hadn't done that. But it's just one of those things. Emotions creep up even when you are in a demo, if you're trying to treat it like real money, and that's what happened with me. But then I did, come Thursday, revert back to my £500 account idea, and I went back to what my overall results were. But that's why that's very low. And then the last 2 weeks of the challenge, especially this week just gone, really picked it up. I'm a bit bummed that today was a red day, because obviously if it had been green, it would have been a green week, which would have felt so good. But it's what it is. That's what happens when you trade. You've just got to take the losers with the winners, and it's about having a series of trades perspective rather than a trade by trade perspective. Thinking like a casino, just taking it as it comes, but overall the consistency should pay off. And as you can see, I made just over £75 in April, together with the 97.70 in March. So yeah, I'm really happy with the results. One last powerful insight before you go. Although the figures in this challenge may seem quite small to you, it's not really the actual figures of profit and loss that are important here, it's the percentages. Percentages are where the power is at. Let me give you an example. So I'm going to flash up on the screen here, and we have £500, £1,000, £2,000, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, £10,000, and you can see the impact of the percentage growth on each of these account sizes. And this is the real snowball effect in action here, guys. It's so important with trading to keep in mind that it's the long-term growth. Trading is a marathon, it's not a sprint, and it's so important to just let that account grow up and then let the percentages take care of themselves. So what is the next step? Well, for me, the next step is to transition into a live account. This demo account trading has been an excellent experience. I've managed to see a real insight into what it's like trading Forex. I've managed to grow my £500 account. Obviously, it would have been nice if it was real money, but that is the nature of testing, and it's so important to test and to really get an insight before you actually dive in with real money. So for me, it's transitioning into a live account. I am going to go back to the £500, and I'm going to take it slow and steady, and I'm going to see how it goes. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope that you've learned something from it. Like, any questions, any comments, leave them below. Don't forget to grab your free copy of my Forex trading plan. Like, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks guys. Bye.